rocket booster is lit and you lean back and you come forward and you start going up, we all did a fist bump, and I think people heard me screaming and smiling with enthusiasm.
How would you be feeling if you were strapped into that capsule about to embark on its first full mission into space?
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Can I get the countdown? FTS is armed, Falcon 9 is in startup and it's now controlled.
50 seconds now until liftoff. That FTS you heard is flight termination.
SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX, this is resilient. Roger, go.
Go for launch, and at 37 seconds, the International Space Station flying over Kennedy Space Center.
Crew one for all.
Crew Dragon poised to go catch it. 20 seconds till liftoff.
15 seconds. Falcon 9 is configured for flight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rises. Not even gravity contains humanity when we explore as one for all. That's the word we want to hear. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Plus 30 seconds into this historic mission, flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9. Stage 1 is preparing to throttle down. This is in preparation for max Q, which is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Stage 1, throttle down.
There's that call out for throttle down.
Power and telemetry continue to be nominal for the vehicle, now traveling at 262 meters per second.
Yeah, I mean, when we jettisoned the solid rocket boosters, the ride got a lot smoother. There was a lot of motion. My head was moving. I could barely see the screens. But at that 2.5-minute mark, the solid rocket boosters jettison got smoother. And then we went through a throttling point where we throttled down to 3 Gs because you can't exceed 3 Gs or the structure will come apart.
And as we cross the 18,000 kilometers per hour mark, we've reached that entry burn.
Never gets old, Chris. I'm telling you what a fantastic launch. You know, we saw it go off at 0 and we could watch it for 17 seconds.
They'll be coming into a sunrise here shortly. And I think that's always impressive that, you know, you fly into the sunrise at traveling very quickly, and it's
well, I think, yeah, I can absolutely relate to Victor. I'm really happy for him. He is really excited, I can guarantee it, and elated of what's going on, but it also is kind of a blur. And it was so new going into space for the first time that it went by so quickly that it made me really want to do it a second time. So I was looking forward to my second flight even more than the first one.
Every minute getting an update about the trajectory. This is, everything's gone the way they want. 2 big issues coming up, 2 big milestones. The things that worry SpaceX and NASA. That'll be docking in about 27 hours. They will get to the space station in about 24, 25 hours and then dock at about 27 from right now. And then they'll be there 6 months, and hopefully Crew 2 will come up a couple of weeks before they come home. But then the next important part for them is reentry and splashdown, which is supposed to come in the spring. It looked like it went without any problems whatsoever, and I got to tell you, remarkable scenes down here. It was great to see that.
Which should be coming up soon. I can see in this view that with those camera views, it's still closed, but it'll open soon, and they'll be on their way to the space station.
Gary, congratulations to you as a member of SpaceX on a successful launch. Now, Leland, if they had blasted off yesterday, it would have taken them only 8 hours to get to the space station. But now this is going to take 27 hours because of the positioning of the ISS. So they've got quite a while now before they get there to reflect. How will they spend those additional hours on their way to the International Space Station?
Well, that's almost a day, Chris. And again, as Garrett said, I'm elated, and I'm just I'm over the moon thinking about them and going to space. But they're going to be turning their spaceship, their rocket ship, into their living quarters and getting out of their suits, doffing their suits, and putting on maybe some shorts and some polo shirts, and just kind of relaxing a little bit, and then getting some of the things that they have in order and in place, and then thinking about if the malfunctions happen, if something happens with the automatic docking, how do they take over and dock to the space station? So we're always thinking about what is that next failure that can make us have to go into action for manual control or to take control of the situation.
And as David Curley pointed out earlier, the crew looking very, very relaxed. You can see them having raised their visors now, just kind of casually looking at the screens. Everything is going according to plan. Peggy, at what point during this journey to the space station does the crew and the feelings of those G-forces during launch, when do they start to dissipate? Are they starting to feel more normal right now, or are they still feeling the effects of the launch?
We're getting a lot of curveballs thrown at us. The weather, the pandemic, the engine issues, the seal on the hatch, but this is what you hope for. This is all good, and I can't help but think how this is just such a momentous day for SpaceX, and what an incredible story for this company that Elon Musk founded in 2002. I mean, initially, his whole thought was to generate a lot of interest in space and just get people enthusiastic, as he says, get people fired up about space so that NASA would get more money to help fund a Mars mission. And now, fast forward all these years, and Elon Musk and SpaceX are the provider of transportation to space for the United States government. They were once sort of a Silicon Valley startup that is now a mainstream player, alongside with Boeing, which is the other provider in this commercial crew program. They've had some problems. Everyone thought they would be the ones launching people first. They would be the ones to be certified first. But no, instead, it's Elon Musk and SpaceX. He's controversial. He's brash. I think a lot of people have various opinions about him, but you cannot deny what they have been able to accomplish. And tonight is yet another example of that, Chris.
Orbital dynamics and catching up to the space station. That's why this was an instantaneous launch, as it's called, Chris. That meant they had to go at exactly that second in order that they could catch the space station. And this is kind of the way it works, where they use gravitational forces, orbital mechanics, and these phasing burns, where they actually raise the altitude through several burns till they get about just a little bit underneath the space station. So once they finally catch up to the space station, they go underneath it, and then they turn around and come back towards the space station. So this would be a shot like looking down on it, and you can see how the Dragon capsule, fully autonomous, the astronauts don't have to do anything, comes in and docks. They have a soft docking and then a hard dock in which some claws from the Dragon actually connect onto the space station and hold it there. Soichi Noguchi, calling himself the Dragon Rider, Dragon Rider. Dragons are very important in Japan. And one thing, a little element, Mike Hopkins, everybody carries something to space. You've talked to our astronaut panel about what they carried. Mike Hopkins is carrying some Air Force wings. His son wants to become an Air Force pilot. So if he does become a pilot, he'll be able to pin his son with the wings he carried to space. Chris?
Now this is the first rotation flight. So now we're in the regular business of getting our astronauts up to the space station to crew the space station for 6 months at a time. And for 9 years, we only had one vehicle that could do that, and that was the Soyuz. And if anything went wrong with the Soyuz, if for some reason we had to take that fleet down, we had no way to get to the space station. Now we have 2 ways, and so you got rid of that single point failure.